Hello and welcome. I'm Pratap Singh. You're joining us on Bharat Pulse Survey 2026 segment 2. In this segment, we're going to be focusing squarely on governance as we kick off this special survey at the start of the new year. Tonight, we're asking the big questions shaping India's political and policy discourse. We're beginning with a simple but important question. How do Indians rate the overall performance of the Prime Minister, Modi's government? Is the promise of Vikas and development translating into better roads on ground, railways, as well as electricity for countrymen? Then there's the question of priorities. If the union government had to focus on just a few key areas, what should come first? Cutting taxes, tackling air pollution, improving health facilities, strengthening security, or helping small businesses grow? We're also looking back at the year gone by, 2025. We're asking people what they believe was India's most impactful achievement during the last year. And finally, we will also be raising some pertinent questions on the broadcast. Are Indians concerned about illegal migration? Is that a big issue here in India? The world over, there's talk on this issue. What about India? As India's population also grows, should the country increase the number of members of parliament? Does the number of MPs need to increase? Should there be a redrawing of constituencies? These are all questions shaping the national conversation on policy, governance and discourse. And let's take a look now at what people of India said in the results of the Bharat Pulse Survey segment 2. So what were the questions we posed to our countrymen and what were the response of the respondents? Let's quickly go across and share with you, starting with the first question we put out. How would you rate the performance of the Modi government currently? Well, here you have it. An overwhelming 37% believe that it's an excellent performance of the Modi government, of the NDA government. 35% people said it's good. 16% people rated the performance as average, and just 12% people said it was a poor performance. The next big question we put out to people was, is infrastructure like roads, rails, electricity in India actually improving? And here are the results. Well, 71%, that's a big majority of people said yes, these areas are improving on ground across the country. Just 23% people saying no and 6% people saying maybe. Let's quickly go across to the next question we posed to our respondents. What would you like to see the union government prioritize? And here are the results. Well, interestingly, small business growth. 38% people believe the priority of the government should be small business growth. 21% people believe they should prioritize health facilities. 17% people said security. 13% people said air pollution. And just 11% people saying tax cuts. So obviously people there concerned about small business growth, it seems, as being the priority, followed by the others. Okay, let's now talk about the year gone by. What was the most impactful achievement, we asked our respondents, for 2025? What did they say? Well, Mahakumbh organization. It happened at the start of 2025, but 34% people believe that that was the single most impactful achievement. The Mahakumbh organization, 34% people going with that. 28% people saying it was the fact that India became the 4th largest GDP in the world. 21% people believe it was Operation Sindoor. That was the biggest achievement. And of course, lesser people saying it was GST cuts, the GST reforms, of course, that the government had brought about. Could we just slow it down so I can complete before we move on to the rest? Here, of course, you have the final big question that was asked in this survey, and it was, are you concerned about illegal migrants that are living in India? And there you have it. An overwhelming 83% people saying yes, they are very concerned about this issue. Just 11% people said no, and 6% people said maybe. Okay, let's throw that open now to our special guests joining us on the broadcast to get their views on what people said, what people felt. We are live with Major General A.K. Sivaj, former Chief of Territorial Army. What do you make of the results of this survey, Major General A.K. Sivaj? Interestingly, people believe it's the Mahakumbh That was the single biggest achievement of 2025, and that's actually followed by other big achievements. Operation Sindoor coming in as the number 3 achievement of the year according to the respondents of this survey.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I suppose the Operation Sindoor has been a remarkable thing which has happened to India. The reason is simple, that within 4 days we managed to make sure that Pakistan raises its hand. That the 4 days were very crucial. On the night 6th, 7th, we destroyed their 9 terror infrastructure. That is basically a headquarter of Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaise-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen. Almost 150 terrorists were killed, and also Masood Azhar's family was totally wiped off. And when the Pakistani start to retaliate, or basically multi-tier air defense system neutralize all their missile rocket, and when we hit them on night 9-10, that is the time their 11 frontline airfields were completely destroyed. That is Noor Khan, Sargoda, Bulari Khan, then Rahimya Khan, Jacobabad, Skardu. There are about 10 to 12 aircraft on the ground which were on the runways, and hangars were also destroyed. So to me it looked like that Operation Sindoor has played a very important role in achievement in 2025. Of course, what the survey is telling that Mahakumbh also has been very excellent and remarkable, one can say, action of Indian government, because more than 40 crore people have come and taken a bath. But overall, this year has been a remarkable year, 2025. And to me, it looks like, if I have to see as a military man, I think that the psyche has changed as far as the nation is concerned. We have made it very clear to the Pakistan that any terrorist action will be an act of war. And also in this, we should not forget what we have done is we have held in abeyance Indus Water Treaty, which will have a remarkable impact on psyche of Pakistan.
Okay,
Now,
let me get in
Pakistan is having a
Tehseen
number of
Poonawalla
problems.
as well, political analyst, on the issue of illegal migration, and also quickly putting out another result on our screens. Should India increase the members of parliament? 52% people said yes, they should increase the members of parliament. 29% people saying no, and the rest, of course, being with baby. So, interestingly, a lot of people do believe, Tehseen, that the number of MPs should increase. There should be a further delimitation of constituencies, but not such a huge margin as compared to illegal migrants living in India. Quite a significant amount of people saying that they are concerned about that issue.
So 2 things. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. Wish you, your family, the NewsX team, everybody a very, very happy and prosperous new year. May India continue to progress. 2 issues. So far as the number of members of parliament need to be increased, I think that is absolutely justified. We need to quickly get on with delimitation and have more MPs in, because our MPs represent a very large constituency, and sometimes they don't do justice to that constituency. A second very important thing is we also, along with that, need to bring in a rule that government is responsible for running parliament, and parliament must function. And parliament, every bill should be debated for a certain amount of time minimum before it's passed. You can't just pass bill in a din or just by shouting. There must be a minimum amount of discussion in parliament over a bill, so that people like us who want India to progress can understand what are the various facets of the bill. So the government can't suddenly bring in a bill and then there's commotion and pass the bill. It should not happen in that sense. As so far as illegal migrants is concerned, I want this to be understood extremely clearly. Anyone who illegally migrates into India, I'm not talking about refugees, I'm not talking about those who've come for work, I'm talking about illegal migrants who sneak into India. They should be handcuffed, tied, and sent back to their country with absolute no mercy. You cannot enter my land illegally. Apart from it being a security issue, you take away the jobs of my country. India should be open for migration in terms of skilled migration. People from across the world, somebody from the United States wants to come and work in the IT sector, somebody from Canada, somebody from anywhere. As long as you want to come and contribute positively to my economy, legally come in and help build India, pay your taxes here, live in dignity, and we would love that. But if you sneak into India, if you sneak in with fake documents, it is our job to throw you out, and not throw you out, tie you up and throw you out, so you don't come back again.
Okay, let me get in Radhalakshmi Joshi in at this point as well. Radhalakshmi Joshi, now people also believe on other issues like infrastructure, that roads, rail, electricity, these are all improving on ground. Quite a sizable amount of people believe that there has been progress on that front in the last year and continuously on ground.
Hello there. I'm very happy 2026 to you, my co-panelists, and to all your viewers. And over the past, I would say 11 years, and in fact, in the 25 years of PM Modi's political career, I think he has had a lot of achievements, and I would say that the icing on the cake would be in terms of the infrastructure development that he has done, in the past in Gujarat, and now what is happening all over the country. So that I would say is one of the most remarkable achievements, because that actually would be the foundation of making sure that the development, all the projects, all the whatever schemes are there of the central government, they reach to every person of the country, to make sure of that, that infrastructure is very essential, whether it may be digital infrastructure by roads, rail, whatever it may be. So this is a very crucial part, and that actually we have seen that the country has moved ahead by leaps and bounds. So if you see in terms of a comparison, if you see what happened over the last, say, maybe 60 years, and what has happened over the last 11 years, there is it's almost equivalent, or in some cases it's almost double. So the kind of progress that our country has made, and the most remarkable one I would say is because, especially during the corona lockdown, if you see that the kind of digital infrastructure that our country has developed, it is because of that every, even the poorest of poor, was able to reap the benefits of whatever schemes were being done. They were able to make sure that all the benefits reach them, and yeah, they were able to have transactions. Even everyone of us was able to make transactions. So all of this actually has helped make our country be one of the fastest growing economies, even in troubled times. So today, in the times of all these kind of tariff wars, and the global wars that are happening all over the world, in spite of all of that, our country is economically in a strong position. And in fact, in spite of all those tariffs, and in fact, in spite of all the hits that we have been taking, in spite of all of that, we have been able to emerge as a strong economy, and and as a force to reckon with. So all the global leaders today are looking to us, in fact, that our country will be the one to maybe mediate and stop some of the major global wars. So I think that that is the kind of a position that we have achieved. And all of this has been possible because of all of this. I would say it starts with a lot of development in terms of infrastructure. And also, I would also want to emphasize that there is a very marked change in the mindset of the people, where we have been focusing on the Make in India and an Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Okay.
So whether it may be in defense, or whichever other
Okay. Let me
department.
also quickly get in Gautam Mukherjee in on another big question that we had posed on what people believe the priority should be of the Modi government. And here, a lot of people actually said it should be small business growth. Small business growth should be prioritized by the current dispensation, followed by health facilities, and then other aspects. What did you make of that result thrown up as well, Gautam?
When it aligns itself to national objectives, does very well. For example, number of startups and highly technologically proficient companies who have contributed to the Atmanirbhar defense program are going from strength to strength. In isolation, it is difficult for small businesses to compete, particularly because of a lot of componentry coming in from China, where the costs are better, and a paucity of funds. So unless they get large orders, small businesses struggle. So while broad brush, it is a good idea, but like Japan before us, like China, in Japan, you have the Hong system where large companies nurture smaller companies, very small companies also, as part of their, if you like, connectivities
Yes.
with industry. And in China also, it is basically backed very strongly by the government. Therefore, small businesses are given the right loans, and they're given orders, and they're helped with their exports. So, if you give them a leg up, it's not just a matter of giving them loans. It is an entire ecosystem that must be put into place and nurtured and pushed by multiple authorities in order for it to go places.
Okay, let me quickly bring back in Tehseen Punawala then. Tehseen, on another key question that we asked our viewers, and I think we've lost Tehseen there, but Major General A.K. Sivaj, on the Modi government's performance, a lot of people ranking it as excellent or good. How do you, view that as well, a positive sentiment for the current dispensation and the current Modi government? Major General Sivaj, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Can you
we
hear
can
me,
hear you
please?
now. Yes.
My point is, Uday, in last 11 years, the progress of the country has been remarkable. And especially if you see the economy, we were somewhere about 10th to 11th largest economy of the world. We have become fourth largest economy and likely to become third largest economy another 2-3 years. So this is a remarkable achievement in last 10 to 12 years. The second improvement is the security. Remember that somewhere we have not paid that much attention to the infrastructure development in the border area, especially along the China, starting from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh. In last 10 years, if you find it, the development has taken place, infrastructure, roads, rails, tunnels, logistic build-up very close to the border area has taken place. Third thing which is very important which has taken place, that we used to purchase almost 75 to 80% of our defense items from different countries. That is, we used to import maximum from Russia and from other countries. Now the whole thing has changed. We are now manufacturing 75 to 80% of weapons by ourselves, and Atmanirbhar and self-reliant has made tremendous difference. Now you can say what we are doing is make in India, make for world. So not only that we are making for ourselves, we are also exporting. You see BrahMos missile, you see Tejas Mark II, which people are demanding, Agni, then it is also, you can say, Nag, then ATAJ. So it's a plethora of weapon system
Yes.
which demand is increasing outside the country. So defense point of view, India has done extremely well. Economy, India has become now almost third in time to come. What else has improved? What has improved is your infrastructure all around the country. Also, the road, rail rings has improved. Where we have not able to perform that too well is possibly where we have not able to control the pollution. The environment is one challenge which we have to take on. In time to come, it is the biggest challenge which is going to come. I suppose there we have to focus it. Another thing, illegal migration. Now, illegal migration used to be a big challenge. This government has managed to have sort of, whether it is on Bangladesh border, they have made the fence, which is almost 80% complete. Again, we are starting now toward the Myanmar. That is another good achievement as far as this government is concerned. Fourth thing is the diplomacy which we have now playing all around the world has made a tremendous difference. Now, the personality of Prime Minister Modi has made a remarkable difference in that. He is considered as the one of the tallest leader in the world, and his viewpoint or the country viewpoint that the war in all these wars, Russia, Ukraine or Israel, Hamas, we have in no uncertain conveyed that there is no solution which can be found about any problem in the battlefield. The battlefield solution is not relevant today. It is the solution on the table which will make a difference. Dialogue and diplomacy is the key word. I think that has also stick to the whole world that India thinks about peace. Another very important thing which has happened is that the way we conduct the G20 meeting and the way we are now become a voice of global south. Now we are taking the global south with us, and that is where a tremendous impact. The world is now looking towards us that we are taking the global south, which were voiceless earlier. Now we have made sure that they are not only part of G20, they are also understood, and their resources are not exploited. They also come into the mainstream. That has also a very important achievement which we have done. So overall, I will consider, Uday, in last about 11 years, the achievement of Modi government has been remarkable, but lot to be covered. And I suppose the environment is one factor where the present government has to pay attention, and also it has to pay attention as far as economy concerned in manufacturing, because the country has to focus on manufacturing. Until as the manufacturing comes, you will find that the problem will come, then we will be dependent on the import from other country. The manufacturing is the source where we can export. I think there again we have to
absolutely, and of course people want security. People want security, which is why Operation Sindoor, of course, was a big achievement. A lot of people saying that security of the country is important. But Rajlakshmi Joshi, people emphasizing on small business growth, and there manufacturing also is included, because that also leads to jobs. Economy concerns obviously are important for people over other issues. Obviously air pollution also is important, but if health and wealth is not there, then living, the cost of living of course is high, and ease of living doesn't continue. And it's quite also healthy to see that people are ranking business growth and security and all of that over tax cuts. Tax cuts are great for people because it leads to more income on ground. People want freebies and subsidies and all of that, but obviously people are becoming more mature, wanting those kind of other issues rather than just tax breaks, tax cuts, and more money in their pocket, more cash from politicians. Rajlakshmi.
Absolutely, Uday. That is such a redeeming kind of a factor, because it felt really nice to see that the people of our country actually would not mind paying a little taxes to make sure that there is growth and development, and there are a lot of infrastructure projects in the country, so which will not be possible without any taxation. Obviously, in other developed countries also you have very heavy taxes, very frankly. So I hope that at some point of time, we will be able to maybe make use of some of our resources to have a lot more tax cuts. But at the same time, for now, I don't think that is a possibility as of now. But the way people have responded, I think that people are more eager to make sure that there is a lot more development, and they are more concerned about the health, about the air pollution, like they're concerned about the AQI. And I think that there is a lot more awareness now among the people, a lot more political awareness also about their rights as well as their responsibilities. So when Modi ji always talks about how people should not just be talking about their rights, but also about how they should also be taking bhagidari in whatever in the nation building. So that is also an important part. So these taxes also are a part of nation building. So along with that, now, when if you look at the infrastructure projects, whether it may be health schemes, health policies, the health centers, hospitals, all of that, even defense, all of it will require a lot of inputs from our side as well. So that is something that people have recognized, and they know that their money is in the right hands. And also that when there are schemes announced by the government, they also reach the right hands, because earlier you see that there was a lot of leakages. So when the earlier Prime Minister Mr. Rajiv Gandhi himself had said that when if 1 rupee is sanctioned by the central government, just say maybe 15 paisa reaches the end user. So that was the kind of leakage earlier. So today now you have a direct benefit transfer. So those kind of issues have completely made sure that people have more transparency, people have a lot more confidence in what is happening in the governance. So
Yes.
that I think is an essential part, Uday. So it is
Absolutely.
not just
But
ease of
security is important. Security is important. And of course, as far as defense is concerned, that should be a priority. But also the issue of illegal migrants, that continues to concern many, many Indians today. An overwhelming percentage of our respondents, Gautam Mukherjee. What do you read into that?
Well, I think illegal migration is at last being taken seriously. The dimensions of it are considerable. There are crores of people in the country, not just in the
And
border states, but
politically also, this is a significant outcome given the fact that the government, or rather the BJP, is raising this issue in overwhelmingly in two of the states that will go to the polls this year, Assam and West Bengal. Gautam.
yes, both are, of course, border states where the demographic balance has been affected adversely by illegal immigration over the last 2 or 3 decades. And as a consequence, this is something that has to be tackled. The SIR that is being conducted right now will go some distance because there is a lot of aiding and abetting of illegal immigrants to provide them with papers and Aadhaar cards and the like, which are, part and parcel of the political vote bank process amongst certain parties. All of this is sought to be reversed, and many of these people are beginning to be sent back. It is something that is both, as many people have said, a security threat and an economic threat because they're eating into the livelihood of Indian citizens, and security because they're all over the country and can easily be used by inimical forces to create mayhem and terrorist attacks and subversion of various kinds. So it
Okay.
is rightly been highlighted as a major concern by the people who have addressed this poll.
Right. All right. On that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. My thanks to our guests for joining us on this special segment.
MDH Kasuri